But we start today with another word from FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are officially underway, guys, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action right now when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet. You'll get $250 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com/UCSS and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. We have a winning ticket from the weekend. Our guy Darren Smith turned $10 into $235
This dude.
on a play-in game, same game parlay. He had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-part single game parlay that hit, turning 10 into $235.50, which isn't still on there, but still a massive win here for our guy Darren Smith from Kansas City. So if you have a winning FanDuel ticket,
This guy every
make sure
day.
you send it in, and we will feature it here on the show.
Can I ask a
just
question,
like Darren.
Mike? Are you done with the read? Okay,
up?
can I ask a question? How many of these bets daily does he place?
Oh, listen.
I will text
Do we
Darren.
know?
I will get the answer. I don't
Man,
have the answer.
I know this.
But,
Is it
you
a
know
lot
the
of them?
answer?
Yeah, listen. So like he came over when he came into town. He stayed with me and my wife.
Okay.
And we was walking around. We was talking, and he's a night owl like me. It's like 2 a.m. We still walking around like watching. So he has his tablet, and he listens to like games on the radio.
Oh, my.
And he's listening to the radio with like
Following his
with
bets.
the tablets and all the joints. He's like, yeah, man, I'm following this, that, and the third. He got a fantasy football league and about 3 tablets, and he's just in there like this. I'm like, dang, bro, how many bets you got in the iron, fire in the iron? He's like, it depends on what site. I say, yo.
So he's betting a lot. He's winning a lot. Shout out to Darren. If you have winning tickets,
Shout
make
out
sure
to
you
Darren.
send it in.
Jeez.
But Darren recently has
incredible.
been as hot as Ty Jerome was
Yes.
last night.
No
You want
one's
to
that
talk
hot.
about going supernova in your first ever playoff game. Ty Jerome chips in 28 points. Jerome, Mitchell, and Garland combined for 85 points in the Cavs' 121
Crazy.
to 100 win over the Miami Heat. Jason, you were there. I did not go yesterday as I was recovering from a little bit of a sickness. Didn't want to put anyone at risk. But being in the arena, getting to experience that atmosphere and seeing Jerome, Mitchell, and Garland just single-handedly overpower the Miami Heat. What was that like, and what was the reaction to Ty Jerome's performance afterwards?
Ty just did what Ty does. He's done it all year. And Kenny said after the game, no, he didn't expect to see it, but he probably should have because we've seen it for so long now. It's just become human nature for this team. So, I mean, everybody knows Ty's story by now. It's incredible. He's a finalist for 6th Player of the Year. He should win it. I don't think he's going to, but he absolutely is deserving of it. It's funny, you could watch last night who is rattled by the moment and who is not. And Ty Jerome was not rattled by the moment at all.
That surprised me, Jace. I know there's some that say, well, you shouldn't be surprised. He's been doing it all year. I still thought that when you turn the page to the playoffs, because of that bright light, that it wasn't going to look like that. And it did.
It did. And credit also to Sam Merrill. I mean, Sam, I didn't think Sam was going to get a ton of minutes, but I think he played so well and he shot it so well that he ended up playing more minutes than Max Strus.
And DeAndre Hunter. And Dean Wade.
Hunter will be fine.
And Isaac Okoro. I'm just saying, he played 24 minutes last night, and I don't think any of us in any scenario in any world would have said Sam Merrill played the
Not
second
without
most
an
minutes
injury.
off the bench.
I thought there'd be a major injury if he was getting that kind of minutes.
Listen, first and foremost, we got to already remember that Sam Merrill has that pedigree. Championships in the summer really help. I'll tell you. You know I was coming for it. I've been waiting for it. But it ain't the points, man. It ain't the assist. Where did he get this lockdown defense from?
Yeah, I know.
Where did he get the lockdown badge from, Jason? He's in people's pockets. I said, hold on, is this Sam Merrill? They couldn't move. They probably tried to post him. He's like, no, I'm strong overnight. People try to go around him. He was like, nah, I'm quick too. I'm like, where is this? This is wild to me. This dude was all over the court playing defense. Between him and Ty Jerome, we got the Backstreet Boys on lock, bro. Backstreet Boys, y'all done. Don't let Dean Wade start hitting this over. This is crazy to me. I said I've never seen Ty Jerome, a dude, just wake up one day and tell himself I am good and self-affirmation in the mirror, and it worked like this. To this point?
Yeah.
Come on.
It is nuts, and that's why I was surprised that it looked like that. I mean, I thought maybe he'd have 8 points, 10 points, hit a couple of threes. It was fun watching.
In the fourth
because Spiroditas was on the call, right? Was he?
Yeah,
it was
Spiro.
At some point, you could tell it was like one of the most incredulous things he'd ever seen. He was just.
We've seen it all year now.
We have now, so you shouldn't be surprised because we saw it all year. Let me ask you this, because this is the big question, and if you can answer this the right way, I think this team's chances of winning a championship just skyrocketed. Can he do this throughout the playoffs?
I don't see why not.
I got to tell you, if he looks like that, it's a wrap,
I'm
Jay.
not saying he's going to score 28, 30 every game, but it's just playing fearless, really. It's being able to play in the moment.
Don't care. Look at this. He walked into a 3, Jason. You don't walk. Ty Jerome don't walk into no 3.5-court set like that.
I mean, the guys were laughing about it last night that he showed up in September talking all this mess, and they were like, "All right, slow down. Like, you're Ty Jerome. Settle down." And he laughed at Perrion Winfrey when he came to Cleveland. He said, "I'm all gas, no break." Well, Ty Jerome is legitimately all gas, no break.
He is, without the baggage.
Every time, right? Every time he hit that floater,
he had four of them. By the way, we talked about it. We talked with him on Friday about it. He had
off-platform shots. It's just like this dude is unreal.
I just kept seeing that package that McNuggets did, and I'm like. That was crazy. You guys didn't catch that.
I know I caught it. I said pause.
I was going to let it slide.
Hey, listen, I thought we was doing the Ty Jerome thing. You guys should let me slide on that. But listen, he was hitting those things like and they're tough runners. These ain't like no gimmies.
They would not be considered high quality shots in the NBA, but for him they are. And so you just let him just shoot him, dude. Yeah, now you got the green light.
I don't know. Look, I think Isaac Okoro looks shook. Playoff corner.
Before we get to the guys who did not rise to the moment, let's give some credit to the guys who did. Now, outside of Ty Jerome, Donovan and Darius each chipped in 30 and 27 respectively. All three of their leading scorers last night.
Garland.
Darius and Donovan shot 57% from the floor or better. Incredible efficiency.
See, that's
from
what
those
I feel.
guys.
That can't continue. That can't.
And Donovan started 0 for 7 from 3 and then hit his last 2. So that's the one area you say, well, that wasn't great last night. Other than his three-point shooting, take those out. He was 2 of 9 from 3, which means he was 9 of 10 from the 2-point land, and he was incredible at finishing at the rim, which is something he had struggled in during the rest of the season. He was awesome. Darius was awesome, and Jerome were awesome, and those three almost single-handedly outscored Miami by themselves. Then we'll get to the Okoros and the other guys who weren't ready. But Jason, Donovan and Darius last night put on a show in their own right.
Yeah, Donovan, you mentioned it. Mike and I had been talking. We didn't really talk about it on the air a lot. It was just something that we had been watching and monitoring all year long, that Donovan at the basket had one of his worst years at the rim, and he only converted 61% at the rim, which was in the lower 50th percentile. I think he was 44th percentile. Wow. So by far one of his worst years at the rim. And I don't know if there was necessarily a great explanation for it, but then yesterday against Miami zone, he still was able to get to the paint, able to get to the rim and finish at the basket. I think he was 7 of 8. He was either 6 of 7 or 7 of 8 at the rim in yesterday's game 1. And, it's playoffs. It's playoff basketball, and he's ready to go. Darius is in a great headspace overall, I think. Certainly much better than he was last year. That was the type of performance we expected out of him. And just overall, this is why I wrote coming off the game last night. I thought Tristan Thompson said something really interesting to me in the locker room after the game. He looks at Miami, and nobody's predicting wins. Like, I want to make that clear. But he looks at this series, and he looks at the Heat like 2016 Detroit Pistons first round.
Oh.
Because the Cavs swept the Pistons in that first round series. But that was not an easy series. No. And 3 of the games were 10 points or less. The one game the Cavs won, I think, by 17. They still trailed in the third quarter. Detroit led in the third quarter. I think it was game 3. They pushed this Cavs team back then. There was a physical series. It was a really physical series. They had one of the Morris twins, I think, that tried to separate Kevin Love's head from his shoulders. Stan Van Gundy was a terrific adversary for Ty Lue. And I remember Ty had a play that he scribbled up on a napkin minutes before Game 4, and it wound up being the play that won the series for them. And it was this cross-court pass, skip pass, Delly to Kyrie in the corner. And they left that series feeling like they were battle-tested and better for it. And I don't know if playing the Bulls or the Hawks would have prepared the Cavs for the road ahead like this Miami team will. So this, and I know the announcers talked about it a lot last night on this is not your average 8 seed, and that's true. This is not your normal 8 seed team. I said on the show Friday, if you have your pick, you'd rather play Atlanta because I think they could sweep Atlanta or 5 at most, where I think Miami will get 1, if not 2. I know people think I'm crazy for saying they'll get 2 out of it. I think Miami's best game is going to be on Wednesday because they played 3 games in 5 days in 3 different cities. They were tired last night. They knew they were tired. The Cavs knew they were going to be tired. Kenny said we expected them to come out in zone because they just got tired legs. So they're going to get a couple days off their feet. They'll watch film tomorrow, get a good practice in on Tuesday, and they'll be much better Wednesday than the performance you saw the other night. Cavs are going to win the series. Cavs will win the series. But I do think that they'll be tested and pushed in a way in this series that they may not have been with some of the other opponents that were available.
Spo will make adjustments.
Oh,
I think
sure.
he tried to yesterday, and they momentarily worked, but to your point, you could see the fatigue taking its hold. That won't be there Wednesday.
I asked Ken, we know how much the Cavs love to play zone, and we've talked about on the show that they've pulled a lot of the Miami components into their zone. Mm-hmm. And so I wondered if that helps attacking when you play the Heat. Does that help attacking? Because you see it, you know it, and you function in it. And Kenny said, no, not really. And he felt like the decision-making wasn't great last night. He just seemed like, and listen, you got a long road ahead of you. You're trying to find things to get on these guys about the next day. But he just felt like some of the decision-making wasn't great. Some of the decisions were unforced errors that they made. So there's things that they can go over and clean up as well.
Wasn't Miami the 10?
They were 10.
If I'm not mistaken,
First ever 10 seed
First
to
10.
actually make the playoffs.
But they ain't got no 10. They ain't got no 10 roster. Like Bam is a problem. He done got 2 gold medals. Tyler Hero. I was surprised that
they did a great job. I thought on Hero last night.
They did.
Second half, he was getting to his spots early. But there was a point in time, I think Candace Parker talked about, he didn't have a bucket since the 10-minute mark in the third quarter, and it was deep in the fourth quarter when she had said it.
Yeah, they really took him out of the game second half.
And I like what Kitty said. He was like, those guys are, Miami came out in the zone, and he says, what, you guys got some wrinkles? Or he was like, oh, listen, they came out to the zone. He was like, but listen, we got some wrinkles ourselves too. I said, okay, Kitty, I like what you're talking about. If you let Ty, the problem that the Miami Heat have is this. You can't let, now the Cavs, if they want to continue to get better in their championship organization and the roster, you can't let Ty Jerome have all them points. Because that means Evan Mobley didn't kill you, Jared Allen didn't kill you. You lost a game where other killed you.
Yeah, but isn't it nice that's an option? So
that's what I'm saying.
It's just another tool in the arsenal.
Now it's scary because you could go into the locker room and spoke and say, listen, man, guys, we shut down Evan Mobley. We thought we did a good job on the board, offensive rebounds with Jared Allen. We thought we won that matchup. The Mitchell kid gave him not a lot of nice minutes for him, hit a couple shots. But then you go and look and say, yeah, but Ty Jerome had 30, and then Garland got 30, and almost 30, and Mitchell got 30. You can't let the guards eat you up like that and then still give up those type of points. So for the Cavs, that's wild because, look, you get that type of production from somebody you don't expect to, it's going to be very hard to beat the Cavs if they can, and usually it's Hunter, right? And he didn't even do anything.
Yeah, DeAndre didn't play great last night.
No.
I'm not concerned about him. He'll be fine.
What do you chalk it up to? Just a bad night?
Just bad night. Yeah. Until we have more evidence to the contrary, I just think it's a bad night. Now, we do have more evidence on guys like Okoro and Dean Wade. Isaac, I don't know how you play him. Yeah, we said it all year. If he's not making shots, he can't play.
Nope.
And last night, 0 for 4 from 3. And there you see the difference where Sam is a threat. Mm-hmm. Sam is someone defenses have to account for, and Isaac is not. And, he's a great guy, and I hate saying it, but we've seen, how many years now have we seen teams completely ignore Isaac Okoro?
Especially in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yeah, when he's on the floor, they're not going to guard him.
And it was back-to-back, I think it was almost 3 possessions in a row where the ball seemed to swing and find Isaac Okoro at the last minute in the corner.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, it will find the person who does not want to shoot.
You aren't kidding.
It always does. And just a little thing on Okoro real quick, because I'm curious what you guys think. After last night's game, in his career, he's now 13 of 52 from 3 in the playoffs.
That's not good enough.
25%, literally 25% on the dot.
Yeah, that's just
That's
not good
playoffs.
enough.
In the back half of this season, after he came back from the shoulder surgery or shoulder injury, he didn't have surgery on it, he was shooting almost 50% from 3 prior to the injury. And we were saying, is this sustainable? Is this a fluke? It looked legit. Then he got hurt, had the AC joint injury. He came back. Over the final 22 games in March and April, Isaac attempted 60 3-point attempts. He made 20 of them. So she was shooting 33% over the last 22 games. So it wasn't like he was on fire heading into the playoffs and then kind of stumbled last night. It's one game. He could certainly make more in other games, but on his first 3-point attempt, he hit the side of the backboard.
Mike, it's tough in the regular season when a guy is in a shooting funk to shoot himself out of it because of the confidence in the minutes. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going to happen in the playoffs. I don't, unless there's a 30-point blowout and they just say, okay, now let's spend the next 12 minutes trying to get Isaac well. It almost is going to demand that kind of situation because I don't know how you're going to play him in close situations because the confidence is gone.
And frankly, I wrote this today. I don't know if Dean Wade has the stomach for the postseason. We've seen, I kept making excuses for him, and he was coming off injury a couple years ago, and he played 7 minutes last night.
Yeah.
And totally empty minutes. Kenny got into him at one point coming off the floor and didn't play in the second half until garbage time.
Do you know what that was about?
No.
I couldn't figure out what he was so upset with Dean Wade over, but you could see him, even on the TV broadcast, chewing into Dean as they were coming off the court, and then Dean got buried the rest of the game. To this minute, I still don't know exactly what the mistake was that
there was. To me, it just looked like, I don't know that it was one thing. It looked like a guy trying to light a fire under somebody. But I don't know.
But they didn't play him.
No, I know.
So it was more than that.
Let him sit there for 3 days and think about what I had to say. Yeah. And maybe he'll look different when he comes out Wednesday night. I don't know.
So, Kenny tried the 10-man rotation last night. We'll see how long he sticks with it. You can in the first round is a good time. You can
you're not doing that against Boston.
No. But right now you can play who's hot, and we saw that with Sam over Max and DeAndre. Sam I don't know if that's going to continue. I don't know that we're going to sit here at the end of the series and say Sam Merrill played more minutes than Max Strus and DeAndre Hunter. But it worked in that game.
If Sam Merrill is hitting and Jerome is still hitting, you might as well book it. Cavs win the championship. You can't. If Sam Merrill's going to play like that, I'm sorry.
That's why I asked that question. Can he continue to do that throughout the playoffs?
I don't know.
Well, those are
he
two.
Can't
Ty and
look
Sam,
like that.
we're having two different conversations here.
Yeah,
we are. Yeah, I asked specifically about Ty.
Ty can. Yeah,
I think Ty can too. I don't know if he can do it every game. We had said, I think
you don't need
last
him to
week,
do it every game.
He can do it a game here or there. Can he win you a series? I don't know.
It's really going to come down to me to their 3-point shooting. They've got to shoot it better. Like Donovan has to shoot it better from 3, and I believe he will. I think last night was his first game in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's got to find the rhythm.
He took one early in the shot clock. I think it was late in the first half. I could be wrong. It was early in the shot clock. He was 6 feet behind the line. It didn't make much sense. Shot. Y'all
know Kenny. I feel like with Kenny, like everybody has a green light from 3. Is there anybody that you've seen him lay into somebody for not taking? Like, they shoot threes.
No, he gets mad when they don't shoot.
Yeah, that's how they're built.
When they do shoot.
Darius Garland can pull from half court.
Evan stepped into a 3 last night early that I thought, man, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, I know it. It was their second basket.
They don't. Donovan goes 1 for 7. They don't even flinch. No. Step backs go, whatever.
If they shoot it well from 3 and they rebound, they're a really hard team to beat.
Yeah.
And shooting, we've talked about it all year long. A lot of times shooting, it's make or miss.
Yeah.
And I thought Mike, I think that was on our Cavs show. Mike did a great job of showing when Darius was struggling. It's like, guys, it's the same shots. It's the same looks. It's the same shots. That one went in and that one didn't. Well, that's basketball. But if they're going in, if they make them in the playoffs, and like Evan not grabbing a rebound in the first half is unacceptable.
Yeah, I think I'd see that.
I will say this, and I say it every year, and I don't know why I keep doing this, but I'm gonna tell you what, man. The shot making in the playoffs, I watch pretty much every game. Mm-hmm. These dudes are unconscious. Like, playoff basketball is just different. Like,
it's the best 2 months of the season.
It is.
Because they don't care about the 82 because they're loading up for these 2 months.
I'm like, nobody misses. I'm like, oh, that's good. Shot contested. Steph Curry was unconscionable yesterday. I
didn't get to see that game.
Oh,
I watched the YouTube melt of it.
oh my God. This dude,
He looked like young Steph.
Yeah.
this dude, and it's wild. We don't know Steph has been doing this for like 12, 14 years. They pan to the audience, and his daughter is just as old as his wife now. This is wild.
Yeah.
I said, that was the little girl up in Cleveland that was talking in front of him. Like, I'm like, bro, she 25.
That championship
She's driving.
That championship was 9 years
Yeah, I
ago.
know. It blows
crazy.
your mind.
It
blows your
wild.
mind. And then when you
Yeah.
think of children, how much they
Yep.
age in 9 years,
Yep.
Man.
it's just, I mean,
And
she
I'm
almost looks like an adult.
I said, no, that's not the same. No, that's not. That's a whole different person. They're like, no, that's 10 years. That's what 10 years
That's
do to you.
unbelievable.
It was crazy, too, when I was watching the highlights of the Golden State game. The one thing that stood out to me was that Steph has that switch.
Yeah.
And because I'd watched him a couple of times in the regular season, I was like, wow, it's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a great player, but it's not there. I've seen a decline. And then, especially in the second half against Houston, they're 7, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they went in there and manhandled them.
7-2. Jimmy Butler was hit. I'm like, these.
They're going to be a tough out.
I
Listen.
think we picked Golden State to beat them, didn't we? I did.
I picked Houston.
It's not a bad pick.
I picked Golden State.
It's
to
not
beat.
a bad
And it's
pick.
one game. It's one game.
Meantime, I know there's not really much time in the rest of the show to talk about everything else that
We're gonna
happened
do it
in the
overtime.
NBA.
We're gonna do it overtime.
Oh, is that overtime?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because I wanted to touch on the Lakers.
Yeah.
I wanted
Golden
thoughts
State
on
was,
the Celtics a little bit.
a heavy favorite in the series in the betting odds, despite being the 7. Last two things.
Yeah,
on
they're
the
not your
Cavs-
typical 7.
No, not at all. Last two things of the Cavs will move on. We talked Ty Jerome. Just 2 more stats on Ty Jerome. He's now just the 3rd Cavs player in the history of the franchise to score 28 or more points in their playoff debut, joining Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. Pretty elite company. He's just the 4th player in NBA history since 1970-71 to score 28 points off the bench in his playoff debut, joining Malik Monk in 2023.
Oh my
Ben
God.
Gordon in 2005, and Billy Ray Bates of whoever he played for. I've never heard of Billy
I've never
Ray
heard of
Bates
Billy
in
Ray
my
Bates.
entire life.
BRB?
But he scored 29 points back on April 2nd, 1980.
I've never heard of him.
Charles Barkley said in the postgame show, he's like, man, I remember Billy Ray Bates. I wonder if he's still alive. What's the name was like, bro, you can't say that.
So truly
Just-
a
I was just
historic
asking.
performance from Ty, and just big picture.
Hey, dang,
Game
Ty.
2 is on Wednesday. We'll be ready. We'll preview it the next 2 days as well. But I thought Miami made a bunch of shots last night that were some pretty not great looks that they made.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so close until the 4th quarter when they stopped making it. And I said this to Jason in a text message. I said it on the pregame show. I said it in the postgame show.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
They just don't have nearly enough firepower to keep up with Cleveland. And they can make games close and interesting, but when push comes to shove, I think Ty Jerome would be the 2nd offensive option in Miami's offense. He is, at best, the 4th option for Cleveland, and on most nights, the 5th option.
I don't know, man. Listen, with Kenny Atkinson's green light policy, on any given night, Ty Jerome is like skipping up and just taking runners and flexing all the time. Listen, he ain't got no traps, no triceps, but he be doing this to people, and he be doing this, and it be working. I don't know. Listen, I told people, G. Bush, you tripping. I said, Ty Jerome would mess around and get 24, 25 points on another team who was get starters minutes. And get ready to write that article, Jason. Get ready to get that athletic article talking about how did the Cavs keep Ty Jerome? How we keeping him?
That's going to be
That's
a
that
problem.
summer. Listen, people is freaking out right now. G. Bush, how much money is he going to get on the market? I said, I don't know. Listen, talk to Jason Lloyd. Listen, what he doing right here, he giving me 2 more games like that. He's gonna get some money.
Yeah, some team's
Already
going to
gonna
pay
get
him,
some
and
money.
Cleveland has a chance to make a very comparable offer, and he stays with his best friend, the coach who believed in him, the general manager who has coveted him
Yeah.
since he came out of the
Attaboy,
draft.
Mikey. Sell that.
Hometown
Sell that.
discount.
Sell that, man.
He said it. Chris Fedor wrote a great article on Ty over the weekend about his comeback, and he said basically, I love Cleveland. I love being here. I love this team. I take nothing for granted. And our goal is to win a championship.
Now put
money
a trophy,
can change.
put
Money
a trophy
can change
in the
anything.
case, and he's going to love it even more.
Listen,
Money can
But
change
that
anything.
price tag's
but-
going to go up with each one of these performances.
Yeah.
That's
It's a hell of a
that's-
start, and hopefully we see another one Wednesday night
I
for
hope
Game
so.
2. We'll talk.